Serious, what are some unethical life hacks, NSW? Nobody is going to question your presence at a hotel's continental breakfast as long as you look okay. Confidence is everything. Or just look tired as heck and annoyed you gotta be up before 10 AM. If you are just a few years out of college, or in my case, 10, you can still use your student ID for student discounts. Buy TV at Walmart. Return TV to Walmart before 2 weeks. Come back in few days and buy said TV as open box item at a discount. Have to pay cash for at least one of the transactions, preferably both. I've actually gotten away with a price match on my phone at a local store that matches with anyone, I mean anyone, and got like $250 worth of stuff for about $45. Edit. I use an app called Shop Savvy. You can get it on the iPhone App Store. Not sure about Android. Don't want to pay the Coinstar charge to cash your change? Unplug the Ethernet cord from the back of the machine, then feed your change in. You can make serious cash doing other people's homework for them. Whenever you go to buy a car, the sales guy will always give you that sheet that itemizes the charge and everything on it with the OTD price. That's the sheet that you sign when you agree on the price. What you do is take that sheet, tell them you'll need to think about this, do whatever you can, but take that sheet with you. Then, scan that sheet into your computer, OCR that crap, change the numbers around to something you want that is reasonable. Make sure your math is right, print it out, bring it to another dealership and negotiate from that fake invoice. As a former car salesman, I can tell you that this will work. The trick is getting out the door with that piece of paper in your hands. Applying for a new loan and have, troubled credit? Dispute the derogatory items with the 3 credit bureaus roughly 45 days before you apply for the loan. The disputed accounts are ignored by the major scoring algorithms, which will give you a boost. If nothing else, the negatives won't be dragging down the score. Eventually, the bad credit will reappear since your disputes will not succeed in getting the information removed from the credit bureau database. But, at least you got that loan. Don't tell them I told you. Edit. Well, this got some attention. For the record, yep, totally unethical. And, like many folks are saying, this is only going to work for lenders whose lending criteria, as far as credit is concerned, is solely predicated on the bureau score. For loans that are high dollar value like mortgages, the lenders are going to be quite a bit more thorough and will investigate credit history in more detail. The more sophisticated the lender, the more sophisticated the lending criteria and rules will be. Some lending systems may even flag the application for higher review just because disputes are found, specifically targeted at folks trying to use this hack. That said, there will be some places that this could work. One commenter mentioned being approved for an apartment after using this cheat. YMMV. As always, I'm just a guy on the internet. As an underwriter, at least for the bank I work at, which is a national bank, with our personal loans, we investigate all accounts that are in dispute or if they were in dispute in the past. This one isn't unethical, but if you go to Dunkin' Donuts about 30 minutes before closing time, they will give you all their leftover donuts if you ask. If you don't, they just throw them away. There are many fast food restaurants that will fire employees for doing this. I've heard in particular of a Burger King employee being sued for taking leftover food to a shelter instead of throwing it out. Have affairs with realtors. They have keys to empty houses all over town. Late to the show, but if you're ever in need, go into any hotel and tell the front desk that you stayed or visited there recently and left your sunglasses. Describe any generic style and you're sure to get a free pair of shades. Works with black umbrellas too. Charger, don't even need to tell them what it's for. They have a basket full that you can go through. A hard hat, safety vest, and white truck can give you access to most places. Ex-city work trucks work especially well if the city logo has been removed in a clean way. I parked everywhere in mine with the orange light on top. When you buy a laptop or desktop, buy a warranty that includes accidental damage. Near the end of the warranty term, run Linpack or Firmark and block the exhaust vent. Leave it like that for a few hours and you'll get irreparable hardware damage. File a warranty claim and get a new laptop. The best part is there's no evidence of hardware tampering because you never even opened the case. Learned from a homeless person on the bus. Put on your best suit, aka least disgusting suit, if you're a hobo. Show up at funeral homes and act like you knew the deceased. Have free cake. That right there is knowledge they don't teach in schools. Someone at work ordered a large shipment of Campbell's soup cans off Amazon so that he could have it for lunch every day. A few cans were dented, so we all joked he was going to get botulism, because he's the kind of guy that gets super nervous. He called Amazon to complain that he was worried about botulism. Boom. They resent the entire shipment, even though he told them only a few cans were dented. There was a lot of soup in the office after that. I don't think of this as unethical, but actually getting what you paid for. When your laser printer toner cartridge, $55 at Office Depot, gives a low toner warning, put a small piece of opaque tape over the sensor window on the side of the cartridge. You'll get a couple hundred more pages printed. Some printers even just have a keep printing B option buried in the settings. So I guess this subject ties into a life lesson my grandma taught my mom. Growing up, there has always been this big but artistic rendition of a map of South America hanging up on our wall. I guess the story of it was that it was originally at some gallery and my grandma just walks up to the goddamn wall, picks it off, and walks out calmly without hesitation. She told my mom that you could do anything as long as it looks like you know what you're doing and nobody will question it. Thankfully, I don't see this being nearly as effective in today's world. Download the crappy watermark low-res image that iStock gives for free. Upload that in Google's image-based search and find many people hosting the high-res. Need hot sauce? Looks like I'm getting Chipotle for lunch. Chipotle is where I get my napkins. There are two classes of lies that you can get away with. 1. The lie that's so huge, so massively impossible, that no one would ever understand why the frick you would lie about something so fundamental, and so it's accepted as truth. I call this the government lie. 2. The lie that's so small that you can utterly convince yourself that it could be true, and so no matter how many times you tell it, it doesn't bother you, and no one would ever understand why the frick you would like about something so innocuous. I call this the 1/16th Cherokee lie. Robert Heinlein said it best. There are two ways to lie successfully. The first is to tell the truth, but not all of it. The second is much more difficult, but also much more convincing if done properly. Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, but tell it so badly that everyone is sure you are lying. Buildings' structures aren't as impenetrable as you might think. If a building has a composite shingle roof, you can typically just remove the shingles and cut through the backing underneath, usually plywood. In an unrelated note, alarm systems rarely monitor roofs. Also, if you're in a room with walls made of drywall, you're never really trapped. You can cut through the drywall and go through the wall itself, if needed. If you are married and interviewing for a position that requires travel, lose that ring. And watch out for the ring tan line. If you aren't married and interviewing for a stable job, put on a wedding ring. If you have any close friends with kids, take some pics with them. If anyone questions you about the wife, just start looking like you are going to cry. No one will ask again. Having a family makes you a little less vulnerable to downsizing and gives you some great excuses for missing work. Hungover, kid sick, have to go to the hospital because a H jammed a clit stim up your butt, kid sick. That took a realistic turn. Stand near crowded concession stand at a stadium or something, like between two lines at the front. Keep looking into the back like you're waiting on something. At some point, someone goes, "What are you waiting on?" "Oh, just a couple of chicken tender baskets." 9 times out of 10, they'll be right back with a couple of chicken tender baskets. Can confirm. If it's busy, I'll be so stressy I'll assume I've forgotten. Or assume you're the friend, spouse, molester of someone who's paid and I've forgotten to serve. If you are still in high school, middle school, buy candy and snacks at your local dollar value store and then take them to school and sell them for 2 to 3 times what you paid for them. Most of these kids get their money from their parents daily and have no idea the value of what they are buying. Look for sale candies that are between 10-33 cents and name brand. Selling store brand Pop-Tarts as name brand Pop-Tarts can also work surprisingly well. I used to make about 10-15 bucks a day doing this back when I was in high school, and the teachers rarely care unless you are disrupting class by selling them. Alternatively, wait for your school to do one of those chip sale for X reason things where kids sign up to sell X amount of chips. Then sign up for that. Sell your first batch. Then proceed to refill said batch with the snack pack chip bags you can get at any Walmart or grocery store. This can range anywhere from a 100% to 200% profit depending on if your school marks up the price of each bag to secure their cut. It's only unethical if you consider supply and demand economics unethical. When I was in 9th grade, c. 1999, I used to sell printouts of Dragon Ball Z pictures, and not good ones. People would buy them constantly. On Craigslist or Armslist, or any other classified site, find an item you want, lowball the person from several different emails, then send them a reasonable, but still below asking value offer at them from your real email. After being lowballed all day, they'll jump at your real offer. If you are at a grocery store, go to the produce section, then take a grape and eat it. Everyone will think you are just testing the grapes, but really you just wanted a grape. I have been reading this for over an hour, and this made me laugh the hardest. Buying and returning things. It's amazing how lenient the return policies at various stores can be. In college, I bought a 55 inches LED TV from Sam's Club and kept it in my apartment for 3 months and then returned it at the end of the semester for full money back and no questions asked. Try travel hacking. You essentially sign up for credit cards that have big sign-up bonuses. For example, spend $3K in 3 months for 50,000 points worth at least $600. Don't use the card anymore, then cancel, or threaten to cancel the card in about 10-11 months before you have to pay the annual fee. I have a 750 plus credit score, 28 lines of credit, and I've racked up well over 1 million points worth $10K, $20K. I fly almost everywhere first class and stay in hotels for free. Going on 4 years doing this now. All of my free travel is subsidized by the idiots racking up credit card debt and late fees. I would love to hear more on this. I'm really interested how to go about this. Can't write a good job application or CV? Post a job advertisement on those free websites for a position in the area you are interested in entering. Have random people apply to your fake job advertisement and use those CVs to create a master CV for yourself. Pro tip, make sure you're comfortable delivering a job performance that your CV's stated skills and experience imply. There's no faster road to losing all credibility than having people suggest you lied on your resume. Source, I've seen this happen more than I would reasonably expect. If you live in a bigger city, you can eat a free lunch every day by going to hotel conference centers and registering for an event as press. Some will ask you for an ID, and you say you left it at home. Sorry, but I really am from the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post. Try not to go to anything political, where they actually pay close attention to which journalists are covering. Just lower profile stuff. It costs them absolutely nothing to let you in, and you will have a success rate of more than 75%, and receive a 3-course lunch. Try to go around lunchtime obviously. Evening events are somewhat harder, probably because booze is served. Source, I'm a journo who forgets his ID all the time. Unethical Lifehacks.com. Some that stand out to me. Buy a $10 Visa gift card, spend the money, then use the card for anything that doesn't require immediate authorization. Have a crack in your windshield? Find a city truck and call the number on the back saying the truck flung rocks at you and cracked your window. They'll confirm the truck was where you said it was and bam, new window free. I had this actually happen to one of my windshields, and when I called the number for the truck they told me to frick right off in their own words. Use a self-checkout when you go to the grocery store. That big old porterhouse 4011. That expensive organic lettuce you want 4011. Cucumbers 4011. Tomatoes 4011. Everything is a 4011. Half of these life hacks are literally just steal something. Life hack. Lure Mr. Body into the library. Hit him over the head with a lead pipe. Take his wallet. Free wallet. Brooklyn style free parking goes as follows. Find someone with a traffic citation on their car window. Take it. Park wherever the heck you please. Put citation on your window. When patrol rolls through, it looks as if you've already been dealt with. For your information, many colleges don't care and will rock you with multiple. Put vodka in a mason jar or other crappy container. Put something into it to make it taste different and sell it as moonshine at triple price. Here is what I have done at places I have worked at. Say that your workplace has a TV or electronic device you would like to have. If you have the opportunity, you take it apart and disable it so that it won't turn on. Management will replace it and throw the old one in the trash where you can retrieve it and reconnect it so that it works. Always have a picture of babies, young children on your desk wallet and mention your youngsters in passing when engaging in casual work conversation. By doing this, you'll get all the advantages of an employee who has children. It not immediately being assumed that you're working holidays. Being able to leave early once in a while to pick up the kids from X. An easy conversation point when schmoozing with clients. And various other social benefits. Without actually having them. This trick can also be applied to carrying a pack of cigarettes on you because smokers are allowed at least 3-4 smoke breaks a day while non-smokers are afforded no such equivalent. Ethical version of that, keep pictures of small children in your wallet. Studies show that people are much more likely to return it if it gets lost or stolen. Need to move a large purchase or get a load of something across town and don't have a truck? Go to a used car lot. Find an appropriate truck for your needs. Tell the salesman you're interested in a test drive. Make sure you ask them if they have any problem with you taking it to your mechanic. That way, if they comment on how long it took, say your mechanic was backed up. Also, helps if you say your mechanic found something majorly wrong and are no longer interested in this truck, then leave. Before I bought a beta truck, I did this at least 3x a year to get a new fridge, help a friend move, get firewood, whatever I would need a truck for. Try to tell a few lies, but do it really poorly. Confess to being a terrible liar. Do this periodically for things that don't matter. Actual lies go undetected. Did this with my family unintentionally and now my parents always believe me. I'm surprised nobody said drugs, honestly. Want to sleep less? Be more focused? Whatever. There's a drug for it. Edit. I've gotten 50+ messages saying they aren't unethical. While I think some drug usage should not be illegal, for example using performance enhancing drugs in an athletic situation is unethical. Adderall. If there is a film crew shooting a commercial or feature anywhere in your town, find the craft services area with a catering truck in the morning. Ask if this is where talent can get food. It's an ignorant question. You might sound dumb, but you'll get free food. I did that once. I wound up being an extra on the set of William Shatner's Tech War series being filmed in Toronto right by the Eaton Centre. I was a starving student going to George Brown College and I really needed that meal. If you watch the series and see a tall person holding a large portfolio case near the Eaton Centre, that's me. Something expensive that you can't afford to buy anew, that broke prematurely? Go to a store that sells it. Check their return policy. Buy item again. Saving receipt. Clean old item. Pack it and return it. Buy $100 of beer at Walmart or wherever. Hand friend receipt after you buy. Friend returns and fills shopping cart with exact same amount and type of beer. Friend heads straight for door and hands receipt to door greeter who is old and doesn't notice. Double your beer on beer run. Don't want to wait for your zone when boarding a flight? Tell them you have a peanut allergy and need to wipe down your seat. You will be one of the first people to board the plane. Always treat your boss as an equal rather than a superior. This isn't strictly unethical, but there was an article about how people from privileged backgrounds end up treating their superiors as equal with the idea that one day they will eventually end up in their role. Seniors will begin to notice the guy that speaks his mind and engages with them on their level rather than his quiet, unassuming colleague. The rich kid has a lot less to lose by pee off some seniors than say the kid from an underprivileged background, who would try not to rock the boat, but consequently risks going unnoticed. When it comes time to pick between the two, they are much more likely to go for somebody that appears at least outwardly confident. NB. Accept no responsibility for when keeping it real goes wrong type scenarios. Want to play all the most recent games but don't want to buy them? It's GameStop policy to allow you to return any used game. that you bought from them used, up to 7 days after purchase. Wait a week or 2 for a game to show up on the used games section and buy it. Play it for a few days, return it. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.